Hi there, Adrian. My name is Ellen. I'll be correcting this essay for you today. I'm very happy to see that you have sent us an essay for correction. This one is about international marketing, so let's see what you wrote. Some people regard international marketing as harmful for the local economy and small business, whereas others think it is essential and very helpful, spreading foreign cultures and languages. This kind of marketing has pros and contras. However, international commerce is very important in current society. All right, pretty good. You did a reasonable job of rephrasing the prompt, although you could have done maybe a little more. There were a couple of sentences, like here, spreading foreign cultures and languages. Here it even said spreading language and culture. So all you really did was just change the order of the words around. You need to do a little more because an examiner is still going to look at this as copying the prompt. Okay, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Also, there were a couple of other little errors that I just want to look at. For example, we don't say contras, we say pros and cons. And then here, we're not talking about international commerce. I mean, in a sense we are, but we're talking about an area of international trade that is far more specific. That is, we're talking about international marketing, which is not the same as international trade or international commerce. So it's really important to make this distinction so that you're not talking about international trade in this essay, but instead you're talking about what they've asked you to discuss, international marketing. Okay, so also you needed an in here. Very helpful in spreading. That was the other mistake that I found. So let's move on. I should say that on the whole, it's good, it's appropriate. You stated your position here, which is probably one of the most important areas of the introduction. Okay, so on the whole, it was good, just those little errors. So let's move on. To begin with, critics consider this worldwide marketing invasive into national commerce since it takes the place of small companies. Okay, I don't know what you mean here, it takes the place. But let's move on. Employers of these companies are the most damaged by this situation due to they often do not have enough capital to compete against big multinational corporations, which have the possibility of selling cheaper products. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit before we move on. As I said before, you said takes the place of small companies. I don't think this is the most precise word you could have used. You could have said that it causes small companies to close, or it kind of forces them out of competition. So you could have said something like that, but takes the place was a little strange here. And then, let's see, that was a little strange. Employers of these companies are most damaged. Is it the employers or is it the companies themselves that are damaged? So that also was a little strange to me. So why don't we try that one more time? All right. To begin with, critics consider this worldwide marketing invasive into national commerce since it forces small companies out of competition. These small companies are the most damaged by this situation due to the fact that they often do not have enough capital to compete against large multinational corporations, which have the opportunity to sell their products at a cheaper price. Okay, now there's a difference between a cheaper product and a product at a cheaper price. The first one kind of implies that the product is of poor quality when you call it a cheap product. But if you say that it's a product at a cheaper price, then we don't really know. It could be good and inexpensive, or possibly bad but inexpensive. But the point is that you're talking about the price of it rather than the quality of it. Okay, nevertheless, international marketing, mainly due to higher competitiveness, or how about this, due to higher competition between companies, is positive for consumers who have a wide range of products at better prices, not with, at better prices. Moreover, international economy is essential for spreading different ideas and cultures from every country, which was utterly impossible with local commerce, singular, in the past. Now, what's happening here is I'm a little confused. Let me show you why. Typically what we do is we have one central idea in our paragraphs, and that's pretty important, especially in terms of your score for coherence and cohesion. It's important to have a central idea, okay? Now here what you did was you started talking about the negatives. So the first half of the paragraph was the negatives of international marketing, but then you talked about the positives, and that was very strange for me to see you shift gears like that. It would have been more appropriate for you to just talk about the negatives in the paragraph, okay? And then spend another paragraph talking about the positives. That's a more logical way to organize your ideas. And as I said, this is important for your coherence and cohesion score. The other problem with this part of the paragraph is that there's not much development. I mean, you have ideas, you're just kind of throwing them out there like a list, but you're not really doing much in terms of developing, in terms of giving explanations or examples. So here, look at this. Mainly due to higher competition between companies is positive for consumers who have a wide range of prices at better prices. Okay, well, why? I mean, why are we assuming they have better prices automatically? And then you said it was this spread of ideas and cultures was impossible before, but you never actually tell us how these ideas and cultures are being spread. So we're really missing big pieces of the puzzle here. You're giving us ideas, but you're not talking about them. You're just kind of mentioning them without going into any depth or any detail. And that's really important if you're hoping to get a higher task achievement score. Okay, so let's move on. Even though this marketing has advantages and disadvantages, I strongly believe it is positive. It is positive, and especially for our society and especially for customers. Even local companies could obtain benefits if they take the necessary steps to adapt to this new trend that will become even more popular over the years. To my mind, international commerce is as well very important to stop racial discrimination, since the products that we use every day are from all parts of the world. Thus, some measures LED by lawmakers such as Donald Trump, who is trying to avoid Chinese corporations in the USA, are totally outdated and are harmful if we want to end racism without the with. All right, we'll talk about this in a second. To sum up, even when international markets are sometimes dangerous for small national industries, they have a positive effect on the society because of their better prices and support against racism. Okay, I see what you did. So you decided to talk about the positives and negatives in one paragraph, and then you spent a paragraph talking about your opinion. This is not typically how we recommend doing this. Now, they did ask for your opinion, and you very appropriately gave it in the introduction. You also need to give it in your conclusion. You don't need to have a paragraph just where you talk about your opinion, especially when you've already said something regarding this in the previous paragraph. So what I would have recommended is having one paragraph just talking about the negatives, then having one paragraph talking just about the positives, and through your writing of this paragraph, it is clear that this is the side that you support, partially because you've already told us so in your introduction, and you will again rephrase that main position in your conclusion. All right, so we definitely have some issues with this essay in terms of coherence and cohesion, the organization of your ideas, and just having a central idea in each paragraph. But generally, I think what I want you to work on, Adrian, is structure. I think that's something that you would definitely benefit from getting some points on and some information about. Okay, also, I didn't think that a lot of this was really developed as well as it could have been. I already talked about that. I told you that you kind of touched the surface of some of these things, but didn't really fully get into this thing about international marketing. So what I want to recommend to you is the online course. I think that using the template and learning all about it and all of the different information that's available in the course, like sentence structures and grammar and vocabulary and how to develop ideas, I think a lot of this would be really helpful for you. So let's see if that's something you can become a part of. I really look forward to it. I think you'll find it really just absolutely priceless information. So hopefully we'll see you on the course. I look forward to it, and best of luck.